Jai Gurudev, everybody. So today is day 4, and in this deeper explorations of truth of life, we have come to this beautiful point where today we are going to talk about Karma-Karmafal, the cause and the effect. Very interesting subject. So far we have covered that each individual soul is passing through its own journey of literally millions and millions of lifetimes, slowly changing bodies, yonis. Now, today we are here in front of each other. And even after we drop this body, that eternal journey will continue. In that journey, we have discussed about the importance of being in the human form. Only human beings have this fantastic opportunity of experiencing, exploring your own divinity within you. No other animal has that matured a system, neurological system, nervous system, cardiovascular system. All these beautiful systems of the body are matured enough for a soul to experience its own divinity. That opportunity is available only to human beings. And that is why I feel understanding your own role in this whole game of life and designing your life accordingly becomes so much more important. I'm saying the outer world pleasures, they are called tamasic pleasures, the people, situations, or things. No matter how much ever you gather, it's not going to be able to give you anything. That's why it's called illusion, the Maya. The 5 sensory pleasures, the Rajasic Sukh, look how limited the pleasure connected with them is. All the 5 senses. You watch through the eyes, smell through the nose, listen through the ears, taste through the tongue, and touch through the skin. The 5 sensory pleasures are very, very limited, and as soon as that threshold is reached, it starts draining your energy. That is how the design of Rajasic Sukhas are. Now, the third Sukha, the Sattvic Sukha, is Sattvic pleasure, Sattvic Ananda, is where initially you will have to put an effort, you will have to discipline yourself, and then there is this humongous amount of energy and Ananda, bliss you can cultivate in yourself. And that happens through sadhana, satsang, and seva. Having understood this phenomenon, having understood this technical design of life, I call it, then we spoke about the importance of having relationships. If we are able to support each other in this process of life, if I support you and you support me, that togetherness has its own beautiful value. Then we spoke about the importance of money yesterday, where using the wealth, using the resources that we have, beautifying of your own life. The same money, if it is used in the wrong direction, can create havoc. Same amount of money used in the sadhana, satsang, seva direction can create such beautiful merit. And today we are going to discuss about what is karma, what is punya karma, what is pap karma, what is the merit and what is the demerit. And that is the subject today. For that, I invite you to be a little more aware, alert, and sharp. What is karma? I'm saying very simple understanding of karma is the influence of the past experiences. Now, karma has 2 sections. Let me take an example of this soul. In this body, we call this soul Rishi Nityapragya. Let me take this example of this soul. There are two sections to the karma of this soul, where in the first section, whatever experiences this soul would have gone through for millions and millions of lifetimes, and those experiences would have left a lot of impressions on the mind of this soul, and whatever impressions repetitively got bombarded, created their own tendencies, their own habits, all that influence of the past, which is still staying on, which is not released. Some impressions come along, they get collected, but in a little while, as the time passes, the impressions release also. So the impressions which are not yet released is the first section of the karma of this soul. Whatever this soul has gathered as impressions is the karma of this soul. The second section of karma, even more interesting, is about this soul, the impressions that are accumulated in the minds of people around you. That is the second section of the soul, the karma. So what I mean is, the impressions collected in the mind of this soul and the impressions collected in the minds of other souls about this soul is the karma of this soul. Now, once you understand this dynamics, you will also understand the other part of it. The flavor of karma, the flavor of impression that is generated, creates exactly the same flavor of karma-fal, the fruit of the karma. And I want to make this clear also. If the karma, the impression, the influence of the past is pleasant, happy, in the positive mode, it creates that kind of karma-fal, the fruit too. It creates pleasant and positive karma-fal. Whereas if because of my action, some unpleasantness has got generated in somebody's mind, it will bring back unpleasant fruit too. That's the point. My point here is, look at your own life. If somebody is unhappy about you, and if you remember them, you cannot feel happy. You will always feel unpleasant. If you are unhappy about someone and you remember them, you don't feel happy remembering them. Always it makes you feel unhappy again. My point is this. If somebody, because of, and in that, I'm including all the three sections of your inner world. I'm saying through your being, in all these three sections, through your actions, in all these three sections of being, speaking and doing, manasa, vacha and karmana, whatever flavor got generated in somebody's mind became your karma. And the same flavor of karma fal, the fruit of the karma, will also come along. That is what is called the cause and effect. The karma that got generated in this soul brings the same flavor of karma fal. Karma that got generated about this soul in somebody else's mind will also bring the same flavor of karma fal, the fruit. That is precisely why in any spiritual journey, in any spiritual path, one common guideline you will see is, don't make anybody unhappy. Don't be the cause of misery for anybody. Why? Because of you, if somebody is unhappy, troubled, disturbed, upset, angry, frustrated, that unhappy karma will always bring unhappy karma fal in your life. That becomes a cause to create the effect in your life. So, In India, there is this beautiful way of life called Jain Dharma. They have a very beautiful guideline. Every year, on one occasion, one day, on a specifically decided day, they go and apologize to people, saying, through my being, speaking, or doing, knowingly or unknowingly, if I have been the cause of creating unpleasantness in your life, unhappiness for your life, please forgive me. That is called Michhami Dukkadam. Very beautiful concept. So that if somebody is unhappy about you because of some or the other reason, you may not even know it, you go and do Michhami Dukkadam with them, go and seek forgiveness. As soon as you will see, as soon as somebody asks for forgiveness, even if you have a little tightness in your mind about them, that tightness releases immediately. You feel, oh, they have asked for forgiveness now, let us drop it. If somebody defends themselves all the time and they are not sincere enough to ask for forgiveness or say sorry, you feel even more tight with them, even more angry with them. So those who are not courageous enough to ask for forgiveness, they miss this beautiful point of finishing off of karma. I'm saying life is so beautiful. If the karma that can bring unnecessary fruit to your life, if that karma has got developed, take responsibility, go behind it, finish it off. In any spiritual path, in Gujarati language, there is a very beautiful proverb. They say the spiritual path, the path of full blossoming, is the path of a courageous person, a path of a powerful being within. Those who are weak, they are not able to ask for forgiveness. In Gujarati language, they say, Harino marag chhe shurano, nahi kairnu kamjo. The path of dharma, path of complete blossoming, is a path of courageous person. Now, I'm saying, let us understand the Karma-Karmafal and then go for even deeper truth, deeper layer of the truth, where we segregate the karma in two sections, Punya Karma and Pap Karma. Punya Karma is what we call meritful karma. And Papa Karma is the demerit, or we call it sin sometimes. Let me explain this to you. A karma, an impression gathered in your consciousness or gathered in the consciousness of somebody else about you. If a karma is generated which can bring you fruits that are harmful for your life, which will reduce your joy, which will take away your beauty, take away your purity, a karma which can create disaster for your life as a fruit is called Papa Karma, the demerit, the sin. Karma that can bring benevolence to your life, karma that can bring very beneficial fruits is called the Punya Karma. From that perspective, if you look at your own life, you will see a very simple understanding. In Shastras, in our ancient scriptures, the Rishis, I call them spiritual scientists, they have so methodically defined all the Papa Karmas, the demerit actions. What are they? They call them Shadharipus, the 6 enemies of your consciousness. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar. Kam is lust, Krodh is anger, Lobh is greed, moh, infatuations and attachments, mad, a series of flavors of ego, and matsar is the jealousy. So Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar, lust, anger, greed, infatuations, ego, and jealousy. These are the karmas, these are the actions, these are the trigger points which will always bring extremely dangerous fruit to your life, effect in your life. If these are the causes, the effects are going to be disastrous for sure. And that list is being given to us by our spiritual masters, the Rishis. And to be free from them, there are beautiful formulas given, beautiful ways given. Tomorrow in our session, we are going to discuss a beautiful technique which will give you how to be free from these six enemies of your consciousness. Kama, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar. We will discuss about that tomorrow. So, coming back to our point, you will see these six are your enemies, the papa karma, the demerit actions. To be free from them, I call it negative to neutral. In the blossoming of an individual soul, there are two steps. One is negative to neutral, being free from harmful tendencies. And from neutral to positive, the second most important step, you will see from the perspective of Karma-Karmafal, what are these actions which blossom your consciousness completely? You will see three activities: sadhana, satsang, and seva. Through sadhana, your consciousness blossoms with that beautiful flavor of consciousness. You are able to create such beauty around you, in minds of people around you. When you go through satyasang and singing and chanting and celebrating, the blast of energy that happens creates such fantastic effect in your life. And through your seva, through your service, when you are able to blossom somebody's consciousness, somebody gets that benefit. Through that kalyana, through that benevolence, the punya that generates will create such fantastic results in your life that will open doors for you for your own complete blossoming. My point is, the karma-karmafal, the cause and the effect, this is the game of life. I am saying the effect of the past is karma. The tendencies that have been generated in your consciousness are karma. The flavors of ego that have got accumulated in your consciousness is your karma again. Let us understand the karma. And to understand this better, I have explained all this in very, very deep details in this new book that I have written, Celebrating Life. Please book your copy. Let me synopsize what we have covered so far. There are two sections of karma. The impressions gathered by a particular soul in its own consciousness is the karma of that particular soul. The impressions gathered by other souls about this particular soul is also a karma of this soul. The kind of karma that gets created, the same kind of karma fal, the fruit of the karma that comes along. So, the crux of spirituality, I would say, is take responsibility of keeping your mind free from any unpleasantness about anybody. If some unpleasantness, some negativity gets accumulated, be courageous and drop it. Also take responsibility that if somebody else has got a little unpleasant about you, unhappy about you, please go and complete that relationship with them. Don't let it linger on. Don't let that uh, negative emotion stay along in their mind for long. Don't let it ferment. Take that responsibility also. Remember, the path of dharma, the path of full blossoming is a path of courageous people. And let's learn what to drop at will, what to invoke at will. Let me give you one more beautiful truth of life. For each individual soul, all those inner powers, inner abilities, the siddhis that are necessary for you to blossom your consciousness completely and fully. Each individual soul has all those powers already given to you by the nature. Each one of us has them. What are these inner powers? You will see, number one, you already have the ability to invoke any emotion, any bhava, any flavor at will. If you want to invoke enthusiasm, any moment you can invoke it. If you want to invoke love and belongingness, any moment you can invoke it. And you will start experiencing that loveful consciousness. I am saying each individual is already given this inner power by the nature. The second power, second ability every one of us has is to be able to drop anything at will. If you are angry about somebody, you have the choice to drop it any moment, provided your mind is not colored and grasped by your victim ego. If that ego is prevalent, it does not allow you the freedom to drop anything at will. My point is, you already have the ability to invoke any flavor at will, to be able to drop any flavor at will. The third ability, one more fantastic power of human mind, whatever flavor invokes regularly in your consciousness, very soon your consciousness creates the habit for it. The autopilot starts taking over. So my point is, even the most difficult sounding flavors, something that is very difficult for you to invoke, if you invoke that flavor for a little while, very soon your consciousness gets habituated to it. That fantastic power is with each one of us. Fourth, if you have been indulging in negative emotions regularly and it has become your tendency, if you keep dropping that emotion, very soon that tendency will lift away and make you free and go away. My point is, those beautiful flavors you keep invoking and start creating their tendencies. Those negative flavors keep dropping and start being free from those negative tendencies too. That ability each one of us has. And then the fifth one, I'm saying, look at your own life. Wherever and whenever, whichever subject of your life you have given enough attention to, you have learned that subject, isn't it? That learning consciousness that you already have. Give your focus to any subject of your life and your mind, your intelligence learns that subject. I'm saying, let us learn this most benevolent skill of beautifying your own inner world. Let us learn this most beneficial skill of expanding your consciousness and create your own life the way you want. Lots and lots of love. Jai Guru.